So where do you want to start?
Well, we can probably, if anyone is watching, we could probably catch the audience up about what the discussion's about. So
Okay.
we were previously talking about what hell is and what it's translated from, and I discovered that it's not just translated from one word; it's from different words, um, and each of those different words have different meanings. It's not just one meaning, and can kind of be confusing to people. So I started to do a deep dive, and in the preparation for this, I discovered some things. So I'm going to be reading from many different places in the Bible and also from some extra biblical texts, namely Enoch. Um, so yeah, I'm going to kick us off. I'm probably going to be reading. The first one I'm probably reading is going to be from Luke, and then from Jonah. If you don't mind.
So
Okay.
you want to go? You want to go to
Yeah.
Luke?
Yes, Luke 16, verse 19 to 31.
Do you want me to? Do you got a screen you want to share it, or do you want me to get that?
I can do it if you want. Let me just get my
Whatever's
screen ready.
easier for you.
I've written everything down so that I don't have to keep jumping around. But I think it'll probably be better for the audience to have it on screen.
Yeah.
We can
I
use.
mean, we was gonna get it on the screen either way, but I just didn't know if you wanted me to get it on the screen, or did you want to do it?
You could do it if you want, because I think you've got the Blue Letter Bible on your side, which might make it easier for cross-referencing if we've got any questions regarding what the words mean. What do you think?
We can do it like that.
Yeah, I think let's
But
do it like that then.
I normally go from logos, and then I'll either go to Blue Letter, but sometimes logos can get the job done.
Okay,
We'll
whatever
see.
you feel comfortable with.
It's Luke 19 or Luke 16. I forget.
Luke, six- Luke, Luke 16, 19 to 31.
Mm-hmm. I often mix up 19 and 16. I ain't even sharing the screen. I thought they could see that already, but nobody can see it. um,
All right. Okay, I'm gonna get started if you don't mind.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fed sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed by the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. So that's the first point that I wanted to bring up. Is it says that the angels carried him to Abraham's bosom. So that's a place that we need to keep in the back of our minds when we continue reading. And then I'm going to continue with 23. And in hell, and this is Strong's 86, G86. We can look that up later.
Yours is
Uh,
G86.
G86. Yeah.
Must be this one. Yeah. Okay, I see
Okay.
it.
Uh, and in hell, he lift his he lifts up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. So that's the second repeat of that concept. And he and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham, so just a pause there. The fact that he also was going to dip his finger, or asked to have his finger dipped in water and placed on his tongue, is also important to remember for something we can be reading in Enoch. Verse 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf. So that's also something that we need to remember as well. So that's Strong's G5490. So that gulf is a chasm. It's commonly translated as a chasm, which is like a massive. Oh, you've got it on your screen, chasm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically like a massive, how can you put it, like a divide between them, so they can't actually cross. But they're going to be talking about that later.
Yeah.
So that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham saith unto him, They have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded through one rose from the dead. So the important concepts there was hell, that was translated from the word Hades, Abraham's bosom, and then also the great chasm that we found in Luke 16:26.
Well, let me elaborate on chasm. That one's pretty simple. So if you look at that from a basic dictionary, the synonym should be, matter of fact, I can see it in the Greek right here, gulf. It's a giant hole where people can't cross from one side to the other.
Yes.
I don't even think we need to really go too deep into that.
Yeah, that's a basic concept that we need to be understanding now. So how I'm picturing this, I don't know if you're picturing the same thing, but let me know if you picture something different. I'm picturing
Okay.
two spaces, and there's a massive chasm, as you described, in between them, and they obviously can't cross between them. And on the one side, you've got the people that have lived a relatively sinless life, and that area is called Abraham's bosom. And then the other side is where the rich man that was unlawful. He's now currently in torment. So that's what I'm getting from this. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I think if I was to say it, I would say it maybe a little different, but like if I had to think about it, it would be like a big place, and it would be one side in between where the gulf is, the giant hole. You got Lazarus and Abraham and all the righteous, and they're in a comforting place where they have water and things like that. Then you got on the other side, and they can see each other and talk to each other, but they just can't cross to each other. And then you got on the other side, you got flames and fire, and it's hot, it's not comfortable, and it describes it. So that's how I kind of think about it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty well described, I think.
Okay.
So this concept is in the Greek is Hades, and when you look at the Strong's, it doesn't necessarily link the Hebrew word Sheol to it. But when you go over to the Hebrew word Sheol, it does link Hades to that concept. So I believe Sheol and Hades are they're the same concept, in my opinion.
Hold on. So, keep going. I'm about to knock my nephew out real quick. Keep going. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. So as I said, I think Sheol and Hades are the same concept. I think that Sheol, when you use the term Sheol, it's the word, or Hades as well, is the word used to describe both of this. It's the collective term for those regions. And the pits of Sheol would be the area that that the rich man is in, and then obviously the Abraham's bosom would be the side where the righteous would be living. I can probably share my screen, but the next I'm going to be reading Jonah as well. Just a quick one.
All right, I'm back. My nephew,
Okay.
he's starting to act up. I'm gonna knock his butt out in a minute.
No worries. Okay, so the next part we're going to be reading is a short one.
You can finish what you were saying about Hades.
Oh, I thought you could hear me. Okay, so what I was saying was that
I had to mute my mic and get off the. When I took these headphones, I couldn't hear nothing.
Okay, no worries.
I mean, if you did, you don't got to go over it again. I just don't know if you finished. You know.
All I was saying was that Sheol and Hades is the same thing, and I believe that Sheol is the collective term for those two, both of the spaces. And then the one part is called Abraham's bosom, and the other part is called the pits of Sheol. So obviously, the pits of Sheol was where the rich man was, and that's basically what it came down to. The next part that I'll be reading is it's a short one from the book of Jonah, and
Jonah, what chapter?
It's chapter 2, verses 1 to 2.
Oh, so question while we're getting this ready, did you? I know you said Hades and hell. I mean Hades and Sheol was the same synonyms or whatever. But what about hell?
Well, it's commonly translated as hell. Sheol and Hades is commonly both translated as hell. But there are other words as well that are translated as hell, and that's what I'm going to get into now, which is why things get confusing. Which is why when you read our normal English Bibles, we kind of think all these places are the same place. But we'll get into that later on when we start seeing the different terms.
My point is, do you think hell, Hades, and Sheol are the same?
I believe that as English speakers, we tend to call Hades and hell and Sheol the same thing. And I believe there's more nuance that we need to be looking at. Sheol and Hades are the same thing, and it's commonly translated as hell, which is fine. But the thing is, we've got other concepts that are connected to that word that we as English speakers might get confused with. But,
okay, well, we can check that out after this.
Yeah, I'll elaborate as soon as we introduce more terms that people might not be familiar with. Okay, so Jonah 2, verses 1 to 2. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me out of the belly of hell. Now that is a different hell. This one is it's the Hebrew. Sorry, it's the same one, but it's the Hebrew term. It's Sheol. It's 7585. H7585.
Yeah, I got it. It says Sheol.
Yes.
Nephew. I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to my nephew and just get it over with. But anyway, it says Sheol or Shaul. And then it says, or occasionally masculine, blah, 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 strong 75, 85, and etc. Then it says Sheol, the underworld, Hades, the grave, i.e. a place under the earth where the dead reside, the realm of death, and etc. But it just, synonym Hades with it.
Yeah, that's what I brought up, is I wanted to specifically have an Old Testament reference that actually, when you look up the Strong's Concordance, it actually links it to Hades, so that we can actually know that those are the same concept. So in other words, he actually died. Many people don't realize that. People think he lived in the fish for 3 days, but he was actually dead. He actually went to Sheol. And another way that.
So wait. So you think Jonah died?
Yeah, definitely.
What evidence do you have besides you just saying that?
Okay. Well, besides that, it says that he went to Sheol. There's another evidence that actually comes from our Messiah. So he says to the Pharisees, I can't remember which verse it is, I have to look it up, but there's a verse where he says that the only sign that he'll give the Pharisees is that it's a sign of Jonah. And what we see with him is that he actually did die. Our Messiah did die, and he was dead for 3 days. That mimicked how Jonah was dead for 3 days and in Sheol for 3 days and then resurrected. So that's the other evidence if you want to look that up Let's see if I
Not
can find the
evidence to
verse for
me.
you.
I get where
So
you're
not
going,
evidence.
but that's not evidence. It never says that Jonah clearly dies, and it never says that Jonah was brought back to life. It just gives a kind of like a metaphor of, or like a something like that, but it's not like Jonah flat out gave up the ghost. But it describes him going down in the belly of a fish, and then the fish being deep below the earth, kind of, or like way down there. It considers it. It's like he's in the grave because he was near death, where he could have died, but he never did. And in fact, if we keep reading, it talks about what he did. It goes on to say, look, right after you stop in verse 3, it says, you cast me into the deep. Then it says, into the heart of the seas, and the flood surrounded me. All your waves and billows passed over me. Then I said, I am driven away from your sight. How shall I look again upon your holy temple? The waters closed in over me, the deep surrounded me. Then it says, weeds were wrapped around my head, and the roots of the mountains. I went down to the land, and land can be translated as earth. I went down to the land whose bars closed on me forever. Then it says, yet you brought up my life from the pit. And then it says,
That's
oh
of course
Lord, my God, as my life was, this one says, ebbing away.
ebbing,
So
ebbing away.
ebbing, same. But the point is, he's describing that he wasn't dead. He was dying, and he could have died. But then it says, as that was happening, it says, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came to you into your holy temple. Excuse me. But it never says he died. So
Go up quickly. You read something and you kind of skimmed past it. What is this pit that he's talking about? Is that not the pits of Sheol that's generally described? See,
you want me to go back up to like verse 2?
No, you went past it now. Go back down again.
You talking about right here? Sheol?
Let me see.
Because I don't know what other verse mentions Sheol.
It talks about the pit. In 1 second.
You say a foot?
A pit. P-I-T.
Oh, pit.
Yeah.
Right here. It said verse 6. It says, at the roots of the mountains, I went down to the land whose bars closed on me forever. Yet you brought up my life from the pit. And here's some of the meanings for pit.
So that specific word, according to what I found here, is Strong's 7845, and it means the pit, destruction, or grave.
It means more than that. It can mean slime pit, dungeon, basically a place where people are held. But it doesn't necessarily mean it is your grave, depending on how it's used in the context. So this context,
if the weeds are going around your head, if the weeds are wrapping around your head and you're under the ocean at the roots of the mountains or whatever you're saying, it kind of sounds like the dude's dying.
Yeah, dying.
As he dies, he gives up a prayer to the Lord, and that's how I understand it.
Okay, well, let me get it from another translation, because it doesn't say he died. It says, it describes his life was ebbing away. That doesn't sound like he died. If he died, it flat out said he died. Like, ebbing can mean to be feeble, faint, weak, which is what you described, but it doesn't say he died. And in some cases, it says perish, be feeble,
yes, to die.
When infants faint. So it's when you're very, very weak. By context, I don't see where he died.
So how would you reconcile that with what the Messiah prophesies as his as the sign that he gives to Pharisees? Let me see if I can
It's
find
a it's a parable based on. Oh, somebody said, tumbleweed. If you're still there, hello. I didn't even see that. Somebody said God's love and blessings to all. I don't know if they still here or not. But what scripture is that where Jesus says that? So I can go read it.
Cool. I'm looking it up now. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, that's Matthew 12:38-42, and also in Mark 8:12.
Okay, hold on. Matthew 12, what?
Matthew 12:38-42.
Then some of the scribes and Pharisees said to him, Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you. But he answered them, an evil and adulterous generation asks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the sea monster, so for 3 days and 3 nights, the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth. That's pretty simple. We know for sure Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a fish or of a sea monster. Then he said, I will be 3 days and 3 nights in, what did it say? In the heart of the earth. And that's what Jonah described. Jonah described being in the heart somewhere maybe in verse 4. He said something just like that. It's not that I need to get it, but I just want to see. In 3, it says, you cast me into the deep, into the heart of the seas. It didn't say it the same way, but it said into the heart of the seas. You know, the Son of God said it a little different, in the heart of the earth. But either way, they consider it in the heart, whether it's in the heart of the seas or in the earth. It was a similarity. It's not the exact same thing, but they both went downward. We both know that hell or Sheol or Hades is below. And Jonah was very low. He wasn't that low to be in hell, but he was down there. And he was down there for the same amount of time that Jesus described right here. So the length of time matches. Whether they was in the same place doesn't really matter, because it didn't say that they was in the same place. He didn't claim that they was in the same place. He just said that Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a sea monster. That's it. He didn't say Jonah died. He didn't say Jonah came back to life. He just said he was there. And he said, just like he was there for 3 days and 3 nights, he will be in the heart of the earth.
Okay,
that's
fair
it.
enough. I'll take that. So you believe he didn't die?
I don't have any evidence.
At this point in time, it could go either way. I believe he did die. It would be the most logical
Did
conclusion.
somebody say he flat out died? Do you have any like flat out scripture to say Jonah died, like in that incident?
I was just taking it from the context. So if he has, not that this is a point of contention that it's got anything to do with what we're going to study, but the fact that the weeds wrapped around his head and he was at the roots of the mountains, and the fact that the water engulfed him completely, and it's saying that he was, I think it said going down to the pit. What is the part that you read? I think it was verse 6. All that kind of tells me that, and the fact that he was underwater for 3 days tells me that he would have died. I mean, he's not going to be breathing.
Well, it wasn't like he was outside of a fish. He was inside the belly, which makes him more safer than just being down there 3 days and 3 nights. He would have definitely died if he wasn't in the belly of a fish. But since he was in it, it's kind of like he was in a vehicle or a submarine. But he was in the belly of a fish.
In terms of the anatomy of a fish, it's not like the belly has an air pocket, does it?
A what?
It's not like the belly has an air. If you get what I'm saying, if a fish is under the sea, or in the water, it's not like the belly has a cavity where there's air where someone can breathe. That's what I'm getting to. Is logically speaking, if you're underwater, whether you're in a fish or not, there's not air for you to breathe.
We don't know that. We hadn't been swallowed up, and we don't know when he was swallowed up, like where he remained, because it's possibly parts where he could have been able to breathe and be okay, and it probably was parts where he would have struggled more. This is speculation. So
Sure. Yep. This has got nothing to do with the study itself, but I'll take your point that you believe he was still alive. I believe he did die, but that's fine. That's got nothing to do with the outcome of this message. The other evidence, obviously, is what I would have said from verse 2, which is that he cried out from the belly of hell.
okay.
But anyway, let's go on to
Well, let
Psalm.
me just ask you one. But I think you indicated that. Yeah, you indicated you don't have a flat out scripture that said he died, though.
Well, it would be verse 2. But you're
Verse
not taking
2?
that as evidence. Verse 2 says that he cried out from the belly of hell.
That's it. Okay.
I thought that was pretty clear.
No, he's describing it as. I think as time goes on, you might see more. Look, it says the underworld. That's where he was at. He wasn't like in the world of the dead, but he was under. He was way below than he normally would be. He clearly wasn't in the world of the dead. He wasn't dead yet.
But it says Hades, the grave, place under the earth, where the dead reside. If you're going to be translating this literally as it says, you're going to be finding. But you're using a different. Can you click on 7585, please? Because that's the word being used here. I know that it's linked, but that's more accurate to what's actually being used in this passage.
This is 7585.
So why is it saying 8619?
Huh?
1 second.
That's something different.
Is it something different? Okay.
Yeah. It's under a different. This dictionary is not the Strong's Hoptic Concordance, so it's not going to give you the same stuff.
Okay, I see. Okay,
Go
cool.
look through different sources.
Well,
you asked that though.
You asked the question, that was the answer. So I believe it's because of that part where it says that he cried out from the belly of Sheol, that he would have been dead. Okay, let me know when you're ready to move on. Then I can read the next verse, which would be in Psalms.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Are you ready? It's going to be Psalms 49, 12 to 15.
49.
49.
Wait. We supposed to be going over what hell means. So hold on, let's get that. Knock out all of what hell could mean.
Sure.
And I see pit here as well.
Yeah.
So let's look at this. Knock this out. 7585 from a Strong's Hoptic says it's translated as grave, hell, and pit.
Yeah.
Outline of biblical usage: Sheol, underworld, grave, hell, pit. The underworld, Sheol, the Old Testament designation for the abode of the dead, a place of no return, without praise of God, wicked sent there for punishment, righteous not abandoned to it, of the place of exile, of extreme degradation. Did I say that right? Degradation in sin. Strong's definition shortly says that it's from 7592, Hades, or world of the dead, as if a subterranean retreat, including its little girl, don't start bothering me. Including its accessories and inmates, and that's pretty much all we get from those two. And I don't think we're gonna get that much more.
That's pretty comprehensive anyway. But it's interesting that they give you extra passages and stuff you can compare. So in Isaiah talks about the underworld as well. That was just on screen. We know.
I was just trying to see if there's anything else they go to hell. Oh, I gotta dismiss that. It's still notifying me about the study that we was doing. That we doing. Hell, I don't know if I want to say grave pit.
If you want, I can tell you the concordances for the other words.
Nah, I think we'll.
Okay, then we can probably continue to Psalm 49.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is just another mention. So this would be Old Testament, so it also would be using the word Sheol. So it's Psalm 49, 12 to 15. And it says, are you ready? There we go. Nevertheless, man, being in honor, abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their sayings. Selah. Like sheep, they are laid in the grave. So that grave is Sheol. Let's see what you got on the side. Sheol, yeah, there we go. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them. In the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave. I think that's also Sheol on. I highlighted it as Sheol, so I don't know if it actually is on your side.
I don't know if that's even in the manuscript. It says Hebrew, the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning.
That is part of the goes.
That's probably not even in the manuscript.
Interesting. I got that from King James.
Well, hold on, wait. I'm gonna look at that because that was verse 12.
Well, the one I just read was 14.
Oh, because maybe it's okay. I see grave.
That's interesting.
Shaul grave. Okay, I see it right here.
That's 15. Oh, it is 14. There we go. Okay, and then verse 15. But God will redeem their soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Selah. So what I understand from this is it's talking about the two different parts again, whereas with the unrighteous will stay in the grave, and the upright will then be redeemed from it. In other words, they'll be resurrected when the Messiah returns. Do you read the same way, or do you have a different interpretation of what is happening in this?
Nah, I'm just trying to see what's going on in the Hebrew right here. I need to get the KJV up. There it is. And you said Psalms 49?
Psalms 49, yeah.
All right, let's see it from the KJV. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave. Okay, so it's just in a different spot in the NRSV. The way they translated it, the other hell is right here.
Yeah,
but it's like all this part has no Hebrew under it. That's why I was like, for this part,
that's odd.
Yeah, but anyway, my bad. What was you saying though?
I was saying what I understand from this is they're referencing the grave 3 times in this passage. Twice they're referencing the unrighteous that won't be resurrected from the grave, and then once right at the end in verse 15 it says that.
Wait, you didn't read 15 yet, did you?
I did.
You did? Dang, I only heard you read 14. So you was talking about 14 and 15 that references grave 3 times, or just 14?
14 and 15 is 3 times, yes. So in 15, it references a bit differently. It says, "But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for He shall receive me." So that means that that the psalmist is going to Sheol, because oftentimes you'll say that people will say, "But we don't go to hell," and that'd be correct with their current understanding of what hell is. But we do go to Sheol. Everyone goes to Sheol. The thing is, there's certain parts of Sheol where you go to. So the righteous go to the righteous side, and the unrighteous go to the unrighteous side. And what the psalmist is saying is that God has the power to redeem him from Sheol, which in other words, he's going to be resurrected from Sheol when the time comes and the Messiah returns. That's what I understand from it. Is that what you understand from it as well?
I was multitasking. Repeat that.
Okay, I'm gonna read 15 again, and then you tell me what you
No,
think.
you don't got to read it again. Just say the last part.
Okay, so I believe that that everyone goes to Sheol.
Yeah, I heard that part. I just didn't hear the last little bit before you asked me the question.
Okay.
Because the last thing I heard was you said, like, everybody goes to hell. They just go to different parts of it. And after that, don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I basically said that's pretty much what I said. I wanted to know if you believe the same thing.
Yeah, but it just depends on how it all goes now after Jesus rose. Because certain texts say that when he rose, 500 came up from the dead with him and they never went back to the dead. So after that, it's like, do people, when they die, still go to the world of the dead, or do they get the judgment right away? Or like, is it certain people that go up there and certain people stay down here until the ultimate judgment? So it was kind of iffy, but not all that iffy. So I went with, like I told you the other day, people are still down there, but it may be some that is not down there anymore.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So would you be of the opinion then that everyone that was going to be resurrected or should be resurrected from the grave has been resurrected already?
Maybe that's how it went, but I don't know.
But from what I understand is when we get resurrected, we receive our everlasting bodies, our perfected bodies. I'm talking about the final resurrection. So if that's the case, then and Abraham would be resurrected and part of the 500, then we would be seeing Abraham to this day, which we don't see. So I believe that those who say again.
Also, it's scriptures that confirm that a lot of people are still down there, like from the book of Revelation. So
yeah,
it has to be a lot still down there. It may just be that when Jesus rose, just 500 souls came up, and that was it.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe it was just the people that were around his grave, basically, that were resurrected. People that were buried around his grave that were resurrected. Somehow, some power emanated from him, and then the people were resurrected. That's what I believe anyway. But I believe that those people have returned to Sheol thereafter. I believe they've already died in the time between then and now.
Well, I don't know where I read this at, but somewhere I read that it was specific people that came back, not just people that was, well, I don't want to say not just, but not people that was around him, his grave, but it was specific people like Adam, Abraham, or if not Adam, definitely Abraham and some other righteous people, but it wasn't just people around his grave. Well, I don't want to say it that way. It wasn't people around his grave. I never heard that one before.
Well, I thought it was just the people in that area that were resurrected, or were there people that were buried in other countries and places that were resurrected as well?
You know what? We can make a note to probably find that one day, because I remember reading it from somewhere where it talks about where. How should I say this? Which people arose from the dead with Jesus? Topic or question. All right. So that one,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know where I read that. I just remember reading it, and it was like specific about who came back. But it was such a long time ago. I don't even remember who all it was. But anyway, what were you saying? You were starting to say something, my bad.
No, I think that was pretty much it. I think that I believe it was people in the area, but it'll be interesting to see what you find regarding it. But anyway, the next one. Sorry, I've got a hard cutoff at around 7:30, so I don't know if we're going to get it around. Let's make it. I probably can push it to 7:45. So I've got
so what time is it for you now?
It is now currently 7:08.
Okay. So are we going into the extra biblical books now, or are we still in the Old and New Testament?
We've got two.
We didn't go to Luke yet, did we?
No, we read the first one was Luke. The first passage I read was Luke.
Okay, I forgot about that.
So
yeah, you're right.
So we've got two more Old and New Testament books. Then we're moving on to Enoch. I hope we can get to Enoch 22 because that's pretty much the crux of the whole study.
Is that what Cain? Is that what Abel was praying in hell?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I remember that.
That's a fascinating verse. Okay, so now we're going to do Psalm 139, 7-8. 139, 7-8.
Okay. Seven through 8.
Yeah. Okay. Whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, in this case Sheol, behold, thou art there. That was just another context for that. And then the next one, there's not much to say about this. It's just the psalmist repeating that they can make their bed in Sheol. And then Revelation 6 is the next one, if you want to go there, 9-11.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if you're ready.
All right, I'm there. You say verse 9?
Yeah, verse 9-11, yeah. When he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. This is the verse that you were referring to earlier. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And this also links to...
Go ahead, my bad.
Sure. This also links to Enoch 22 that you're referring to with Abel crying out. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them, they should rest yet a little season, until their fellow servants also, their brethren, that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. Okay, that is that one.
My phone about that.
Okay, the next we are going to be moving into the extra biblical texts.
I kind of missed that, but what did Revelation say? Like, if you summed it up.
I can read it again.
Well, I just think the last, because I heard you, I think from verse 9, but after that.
Basically, they'll be giving white robes, and they've been told to rest a little while longer until the full number of people that are supposed to be killed are killed.
Yeah, while they was in hell. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did it actually say the word? What word did it use for?
It didn't actually say how. This was basically.
But it described it, that their souls.
The reason why.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason why I brought this up is it closely relates to what we're going to be reading in Enoch. The way it's described in terms of. Yeah.
All right, let's get there because I know you got to get out of here.
All right, let me just see. Can I share my screen perhaps, because then I can share the Enoch that the book that I'm reading.
Yeah, just pull it up, and then when you're ready, I'll pull it up, get it on here.
Okay, I am ready. Let me just see if I can share screen. Screen sharing at least. Okay. Okay, how do I only share one monitor?
Huh?
Can you see my screen?
No, I don't see anything to share yet. You gotta somehow get a permission to share it, and then like I'll see it as a little tab down there, and I can add it to the screen. But so far, I don't see anything.
Okay, you should be
Wait,
seeing it now.
yeah, see anything yet? Oh wait, here it is.
There we go. Okay, I think I'm gonna zoom in slightly. Can you read what it says? Or is it too small?
A little bit too small for me,
Okay, let's see.
and I'm on the computer, so I don't know how that's gonna be for people on. That's a little bit better.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
yeah, that's good.
Okay, so what I'm reading from now is, I'll show you exactly what it is. So this is it's 1 Enoch, a contextual study guide of scripture. I don't know if you're familiar with this at all. It's by a guy called Sean Griffin. The dude is amazing. He's been reading the script. He's been in the Word for years and years and years, and he set up this study guide that actually it links to scripture. And not just normal Bible scripture. It's got other extra biblical texts that it links to, like the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs and Jubilees and that sort of thing.
For how much is it? 640.
So that's my currency. I don't know what that is in dollars.
Okay.
It's going to be much cheaper for you, I believe. But I can share the link if you want to look it up. So I've got the electronic copy because I was part of his Patreon, so I was able to download this for free. Well, for free. I paid for Patreon. Okay, so the first one we'll be reading is Enoch 9, 10 to 11. And now behold, the souls of those who have died are crying and making suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended and cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which are wrought on the earth. And you know all things before they come to pass, and you see things, and you do suffer them, and you do not say to us what we are to do to them regarding to these. This is also very closely linked to the passage we just read in Revelation. I don't know if you see it as well. It even has this over here as well, the passage we just read in Revelation as well, except it leaves out 11. I added 11 for more context. So this is also a short piece of what we read in Luke as well. This is an amazing resource. If you don't have it, I would suggest getting it. I've got the hard copy that I printed out as well. Anyway, so next we'll be reading. Let me just see what my notes say. This is the long part. Okay, next is Enoch 22. Let's just see where that is. We actually need to be reading 21, but that's on a different. We're specifically focusing on Sheol at the moment. This is going to be going into the lake of fire. So I'm going to get back to that. Let's just first sort out Sheol, if you don't mind.
So how far did you read in 22?
22 we'll be reading until, what is this? 13.
Oh, so you didn't start yet?
No, I read 9, Enoch 9.
Enoch 9?
Yeah,
okay.
Enoch 9 was from verse 10 to 11. And Enoch 22 is going to be from verse 1. Can you read what it's saying? Or is it too small?
Oh no, I was looking at another. I had my own PDF pulled up that I was getting, so I can read along. All right, I'm there. I'm ready.
Cool. Okay, Enoch 22. And from there I went to another place, and he showed me in the west another great and high mountain of hard rock, in the Ethiopic translation, and there was in it 4 hollow places, deep and wide and very smooth. How smooth are the hollow places, and deep and dark to look at, in the Greek translation. And there were 4 hollow places in it, deep and very smooth. 3 of them were dark and 1 bright. and there was a fountain of water in the midst. And I said, how smooth these hollow places, and deep and dark to view. Then Raphael answered, one of the holy angels that was with me, who was with me, and said unto me, these hollow places have been created for this very purpose, that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble therein. Truly, that all the souls of children of men should assemble here. And these places have been made to receive them till the day of their judgment, until the appointed period, till the great judgment comes upon them. In the Upper Translation, I saw the spirits of the children of men who were dead, and their voice went forth to heaven and made suit. Then I asked Raphael, the angel who was with me, and I said unto them, the spirit whose is it, whose voice goes forth and makes suit? The Greek translation, I saw the spirit of the dead man making suit, and his voice went forth to heaven and made suit. And I asked Raphael, the angel who was with me, and I said unto him, this spirit which makes suit, whose is it, whose voice goes forth and makes suit to heaven? And this is getting back into what you were speaking about, but we'll read about that now. And he answered me, saying, this is a spirit which went forth from Abel, whom his brother Cain slew, and he makes his suit against him, till his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed is annihilated from amongst the seed of men. In Ethiopic translation, then I asked regarding it, and regarding all the hollow places, why as one separated from the other? And he answered me and said unto me, these three have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated, and such a division has been made for the spirit of the righteous, in which there, as the bright spring of water, there's the water we spoke about earlier, and such has been made for the sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed on them in their lifetime. The Greek translation, then I asked regarding all the hollow places, why is one separated from the other? And he answered me, saying, these three have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated, and this division has been made for the spirits of the righteous, in which there is a bright spring of water. And this has been made for sinners where they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed upon them in their lifetime. So they're speaking about two different places, but it's all encompassed in Sheol.
three.
So the one, say again?
It's three different places.
Yeah, that's the part I actually wanted to ask you about. If you've ever studied this out, it talks about three, and yet it focuses on two. Is the third place talking about the chasm? Do you believe that's the chasm?
Nah, like I think in this book or another book, it elaborates on that third place. It's like a waiting place for people who have to, like, there's like certain sentences that have to be carried out before they can move on to Abraham's bosom or the unrighteous side. But they describe it as is basically what they call purgatory.
It sounds very similar to purgatory.
That's what it is. And I don't know if it describes it in this if we keep going, but because one place is Abraham's bosom, the other is basically where you know, hell. But the third place, I think if it does describe it in here, it's gonna be like, what verse did you leave off on? 11?
10.
10. Okay. How much was you gonna read of this?
I was gonna go, I think, up to the next page. Give me 1 second. We can continue into the next page and then we can discuss it if you want.
Yeah, because it might give us look. I think in 13 it started to describe what I was saying about that third place. So I think if you keep going, it'll give us information on what that third place is for.
Ethiopic translation, verse 11. Here their spirits shall be set apart in this great pain till the great day of judgment and punishment and torment of those who curse forever, and retribution for their spirits. There he shall bind them forever. And such a division has been made for the spirits of those who make their suit, who make disclosures concerning their destruction, when they were slain in the days of the sinners. Such has been made for the spirits of men who were not righteous but sinners, who were complete in transgression, and of the transgressors they shall be companions. But their spirits shall not be slain in their day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from there. Then I blessed the Lord of glory and said, Blessed be my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who rules forever. So that's the Ethiopic translation. Now we can go into the Greek just to see if there's any differences. Here their spirits shall be set apart in the great pain, to the great day of judgment. Scoring, I'm assuming that should be saying scornings, but anyway, scorings of torments of the accursed forever, so that there may be tribulation for their spirits. There he shall bind them forever. And this division has been made for the spirits of those who make their suit, who make disclosures concerning their destruction, when they are slain in the days of the sinners. And this has been made for the spirits of men who shall not be righteous, but sinners, who are godless, and of the lawless they shall be companions. But their spirits shall not be punished in the day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from there. Then I blessed the Lord of glory and said, Blessed are you, Lord of righteousness, who rules over the world. Okay, so this last part would then be the place of sinners, then of the place that people will be destroyed, right? And the
I think he
first,
went over that too, but I think it briefly spoke about the purgatory part, but it didn't go into detail that much. But so it must be another book that I read that talks about that third place more, because it's like a holding place. I think if I remember pieces of it, it was like, let's say it's two people that are involved in an act on Earth before they die, and like, let's say a guy, he's still alive, who raped a woman, and then he killed her, or yeah, let's just say he killed her, and he killed multiple people, but like it's two women that's in hell in a certain and they're in like that place, the middle place or whatever place. I don't know where it's located, but let's say the second place. And
right,
they're praying out kind of like Abel was. Because Abel, when he was dead, it's a similar situation. Cain was still alive and he was praying that God does some things. So similar to that, like these people are praying for their case to be, I guess, fixed, or whatever is gonna happen. So until this person dies, that they can't go to Abraham's bosom or hell yet, because they have to wait until that other person dies. And then when that other person dies, they all can have the what do you call it? The like, it's like a judgment, but not like the ultimate judgment. It's like they're just gonna be, it's like if you go to a court case or in court, you're going to be judged, because the guy who assaulted them and killed them, he's going to be judged for what he did. And then they can be separated and go where they probably need to go. But that's that's what I remember reading somewhere, but it didn't describe all that here. So it only gave us like, look, it gave us something, but it didn't give us all that detail.
yeah.
So that's what I remember reading from somewhere or different books about that other place.
Yeah, that's interesting. I always thought that the people that are making suit were in Abraham's bosom, because of the way it's described in Revelation. But the thing is, in Revelation, it doesn't say specifically that it's in Abraham's bosom. So,
I don't think it even does in here either. Like when we read about Cain praying, it didn't.
yeah,
I
well,
don't know if it said, did it?
it won't say, because this is before Abraham.
Huh?
This is Enoch that wrote it, so it wouldn't have been called Abraham's bosom at that point, unless they
Oh,
knew that Abraham was going to be alive and that's his name. I don't know, but it doesn't necessarily say Abraham's bosom because he wasn't alive yet. So
hmm.
it
Well,
just it talks about places without naming them properly.
but does it say where he was? Like where was that? Did you go to that where he was praying about Cain? It was just the same chapter, ain't it?
Yeah, I can show you where it was. I think it's the next. Hold on. It's here.
Oh, it's in 22:6.
to 7. 9,
Wait,
7.
it starts at about, let's see. I'll just start at like 3. It says, at that moment, Raphael, one of the Kodesh Malakim who was with me, responded to me, and he said to me, these beautiful corners are here in order that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble into them. They are created so that the souls of the children of the people should gather there. Well, here. They prepared these places in order to put them, i.e., the souls of the people, there into the day of their judgment and the appointed time of the great judgment on them. I saw the spirits of the children of the people who were dead, and their voices reaching to heaven until this very moment. Raphael, the angel who was with me, and said to me, this spirit, the voice of which is reaching into heaven like this, and is making suit, whose spirit is this? Well, whose spirit is it? And he answered me saying, this is the spirit which had left Abel, whom Cain his brother had killed. It continues to sue him until all of Cain's seed is exterminated from the face of the earth, and his seed has disintegrated from among the seed of the people. Yeah, so it didn't really say. It just said he was in the world of the dead, basically, or indicated he
Yeah.
was dead. But
Yeah. At one place, it actually talks about 4 places or 4 areas. I'm just trying to think where that could be.
yeah, I don't know about 4. I remember 3. It's in this book.
Yeah, let me just see if I can find it. I know that it's in the rest of the study. This is I think this is the last page of my preparation for Sheol itself, so we can move on to Lake of Fire. But I believe it's in Enoch where it talks about the 4 places. Excuse me. Let's put that aside. I'm just trying to see if I can find it quickly.
Go ahead. Well, at least we got the Enoch. I mean, that's progress.
Yeah.
Did you plan on getting the Apocalypse of Paul?
No, I didn't get to looking that up.
That one talks about hell too. That one's pretty interesting. Like, we'll probably have to get that in the second video, God willing, if we do a second.
I've never read. You said the Apocalypse of Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next part is going to be the Lake of Fire study, which is what we're going to get to now. But I think I'm going to give it over to you. Actually, no, I can probably pull up the stuff here. Let's just see. You're going to be doing Revelation 20 verses 12 to 15.
Wait, you forgot about Second Esdras? Did you know
I did.
about that one?
It is actually referenced in this book, but I never actually brought it up because I didn't think we were going to have enough time.
It basically cross references with Luke 16:19 through 31. Like, it literally describes it almost exactly like that, and it talks about more. We won't have to get it today, but we can get it another day if we come back and do it again.
Sure.
I'll put
I
it in
think
the note.
it is actually here somewhere. Give me 1 second. I couldn't get to everything because I wanted to read the. I wouldn't have enough time. 1 second.
I think it's Second Esdras 7:35.
And second, Baruch also has some information. Somewhere in 108. 2nd Esdras 13, 36 to 38. Is that what you're referencing?
Second
Okay.
Esdras, what?
13, 36 to 38.
Does it start talking about hell right there? Because I said second Esdras 35. I know around 35. Maybe, you know what? If you start around 28, because it starts talking about the Messiah in 28, and then from there it goes down into the where hell comes in at. But if you want to just start right at hell, it'll be like around verse 35. But you got to have the a translation that has the missing 70 verses, because if you don't have that, you won't see all of the stuff about hell. So do
Yeah.
you got like a apocrypha
I
with the
don't.
missing 70 verses?
I don't. You can perhaps share your screen rather than we can do that quickly if you want. Because I'm ready to move on to the lake of fire when you're ready. So let's first go through 2nd Esdras and then we can move on to the other stuff later.
All right,
How do I stop sharing my screen?
I got you.
Cool.
Yeah, I better shut up over there.
Cool. Are you going to kick us off?
Hmm?
Are you going to kick us off? Are you going to read it for us, what?
Yeah, I got it.
Cool.
You can see this, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's start about 26. It says, "For indeed the time will come when the signs that I have foretold you will come to pass, that the city that now is not seen shall appear, and the land that now is hidden shall be disclosed. Everyone who has been delivered from the evils that I have foretold shall see my wonders. For my son, the Messiah, shall be revealed with those who are with them, and those who remain shall rejoice 400 years. After those years, my son, the Messiah, shall die." I'll just say this real quick. In different manuscripts, it's 400 years, 1,000 years, and I forget the other amount of years. But I go with the 1,000 years. But anyway, in this one, it says 400. And then it says,
But I
after
believe,
those years,
it was,
go ahead.
sorry to interrupt you, but I believe it was actually 400 years from the time of writing the scripture to the coming of the Son of Man. I believe that's the case. But anyway, you can continue.
Okay. And then it says, after those years, my son, the Messiah, shall die, and all who draw human breath. Then the world shall be turned back to primeval silence for 7 days. As it, let me scroll down. I mean, up, yeah, down, down. 7 days as it was at the first beginnings, so that no one shall be left. After 7 days, the world that is not yet awake shall be roused, and that which is corruptible shall perish. The earth shall give up those who are asleep in it, and the dust those who rest there in silence. And the chambers shall give up the souls that have been committed to them. The Most High shall be revealed on the seat of judgment, and compassion shall pass away, and patience shall be withdrawn. Only judgment shall remain. Truth shall stand, and faithfulness shall grow strong. Recompense shall follow, and the reward shall be manifested. Righteous deeds shall awake, and unrighteous deeds shall not sleep. Here it is right here. The pit of torment. Yeah, the pit of torment shall appear, and opposite it shall be the place of rest. And the furnace of hell shall be disclosed, and opposite it the paradise of delight. Then the Most High will say to the nations um, that have been raised from the dead, "Look now and understand whom you have denied, whom you have not served, whose commandments you have despised. Look on this side and on that. Here are delight and rest, and there are fire and torments." Thus he will speak to them on the day of judgment, a day that has no sun or moon or stars, or cloud or thunder or lightning, or wind or water or air, or darkness or evening or morning, or summer or spring or heat, or winter or frost or cold, or hail or rain or dew, or noon or night or dawn, or shining or brightness or light, but only the splendor of the glory of the Most High, by which all shall see what has been destined. It will last as though for a week of years. This is my judgment and its prescribed order, and to you alone I have shown these things. Now, I don't know if this next part is going to talk about it, so I'll just not read it, but that's what some of it says.
Yeah. Speaking of the day of the Lord, basically. But what I found interesting is how it divided up the different places. So it talked about the place of torment, and it talked about the place of rest. And yeah, it's interesting that it's obviously two different places that we would generally conflate with each other because it gets translated as hell basically all the time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that was really good. I should have included that. All right.
Do you want me to share your screen again, or you?
Sure, I can do that. Let me just see how I can do that again.
All right.
Share screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me type this out. Hey man, we might have to do a part 2.
Yeah, I haven't even got to Tartarus yet. That'll definitely have to be doing. We're done in part 2.
Hey, but if we have to, that's fine with me. I ain't got no issues with that. But I think I'm gonna try to make a Discord so it'll be easier for us to communicate. I'm gonna just have to make one, man. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it. I never did it. And then once I make it, I'll just have to give you the information to it. Do you use Discord?
I have in the past, yes, but I haven't recently.
Okay. I think that'd be easier for us to just like communicate in case like let's say we're trying to figure out if we're going live since we're in different countries. You can just like send me a note through there and vice versa and be like, hey, you still going live tonight? I mean, you still studying tonight? And then you can just answer me back there instead of, getting on here and going live and then waiting for you to join.
Yeah, that
stuff like that.
Okay, so this is the lake of fire part of the study, also known as Gehenna. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is going to be Revelation 20, verses 12 to 15. And there we go. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works. Okay, so that hell there is Sheol, as we've is Hades, as we discussed previously. Are you still there? All right, I'll continue. Verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So there we get this distinction between them, where death and hell actually gets chucked into the lake of fire, whereas a lot of people think that hell is the lake of fire. Are you following?
Yeah, sorry about that. I got kicked out.
Okay, I'll repeat what I said. I'm just going to read it from verse 13 again. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell, which in this case is Hades, delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their deeds, or according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So this is important because we've got, in this verse, we've got Hades being thrown into the lake of fire. And the traditional translation or understanding is that that hell is the lake of fire, Whereas in this verse, we actually see in Revelation that hell is thrown into the lake of fire. So everyone that's in it gets thrown in the lake of fire. So as far as I understand, this is when the righteous have already been resurrected out of the lake of Hades or Sheol, which means that everyone that's in the lake of anyone that's in Hades will then be thrown in the lake of fire with Hades as a whole. Verse 15, and whoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So there's the confirmation of that. So yeah, so that is quite interesting. So that's also known as Gehenna, for those who don't know that. But Gehenna is an actual place. And I can show you something interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pick back up right there because I got some stuff for that, but I don't want to, keep it. Might as well wait till the next time.
Okay. So at this
you want me to
point,
pull up the Gehenna definition, or you got it?
I'll get into it later on. But you can get it ready if you want.
If you, I was gonna say, or do you want to wait till the next time?
So at this point, we've covered Sheol and we've covered Hades, but we haven't covered Tartarus. That's what we're going to get to next time.
Okay.
And then what we're talking about now with the lake of fire is called Gehenna or Gehenna, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And I'll just bring it up quickly. So there's actually two places. So one of the places is called, this is called Gehenna. It's a valley west and south of Jerusalem, also a symbolic name for the final place of punishment of the ungodly. So this I actually did a screenshot from a talk done by a guy called Wes Blaze, and also the guy that wrote the Enoch Study Guide. So they did a talk together, and they actually had this photo posted to show you where the actual place is in Jerusalem. And then you'll also see this, the Valley of Hinnom, which is Gehenna, is mentioned as a part of the border between the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. In Joshua 58, then the border went up the valley of Ben Hinnom, to the slope of the Jebusite on the south, that is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain, which is before the valley of Hinnom, to the west, which is at the end of the valley of Rephaim, between the north, towards the north. So that's this bottom part of here. So that's the actual physical place that you can still visit today. And so there's two different locations. The one is the physical place you can visit, and then also the future lake of fire that will be in the New Jerusalem, as far as I understand, or next to. But anyway, we're going to be moving back to Enoch. Sorry, I'm running out of time, so I need to go quickly. This is going to be Enoch chapter 21, but just before the chapter we read earlier. Oh, my word.
Well, you still trying to read?
I'm going to read now.
I thought you was ending it at 7:45.
Yeah, I'm gonna push it out a little bit. Okay, let's see if I can do this quickly. There's so much to get through.
I mean, we can stop here and pick back up if you. I mean, because I needed to say some stuff about Revelation 12, but I didn't want to say it because I knew it was about time to end it. So I'm like, I ain't even gonna say it because it's about time for it to end it.
Okay, let's pick up on this again from this point. But before we leave, obviously say what you want to say about Revelation 12, and also you said you wanted to bring up the definition of Gehenna. So you can probably do that if you want.
Yeah, but I thought we were finna wrap it up, so I'm like, I don't even see a point to do that. But I mean, if I say stuff about Revelation 12, it may, if this is right, hell in that particular part, or maybe I remember either looking up that hell was an actual spirit, and in that place where it was talking about hell was thrown into the lake of fire, because you know how it's spirits that guard in hell in the regions, but it's also spirits called like Tartarus and hell, or it may also be spirits called those. And I think I've seen it somewhere. So to
I think I know what you're saying. I think you're referencing death because it says death and Hades, and I think
hmm
what you're talking about is death because I believe death is a spirit. It says death and Hades will be thrown in the lake of fire.
yeah,
I
but
think that's what
but
you're referring to.
Tartarus, I remember somewhere being a spirit too, if I'm not mistaken. But I was supposed to mention that, like maybe hell that was thrown into the lake of fire at that point that it was talking about was the actual spirit and not just a place. But that's what I was gonna say. Whether that's true or not, we can look into if we get time, or just say it with like the possibility that you're right or this is right. But either way, that's what I was gonna throw out there. And then Gehenna.
Yeah, no, yeah. Are
Hmm.
you going to bring up the definition?
Yeah, hold on.
Sure.
I was gonna wait, but you want me to get it out there, so Gehenna. Probably just a synonym for hell. It says a place of burning, torment, or misery. So it's basically hell. Definition says in Judaism and the New Testament, hell. So it's just a synonym. Perdition, hellfire, the abyss, the nether regions. Yeah, it's basically the same.
So there is a distinct difference, which is why I brought up Revelation 20, 12, verse 15. So the lake of fire is what I would describe as hell. You would agree with me? So what I've been saying is that Sheol and Hades is a separate location to the lake of fire. Because it says in Revelation 20, verse 14, and death and Hades were cast into the lake of fire. So how do you cast something into itself? So that's what I'm saying. I think that death and Hades is separate from the lake of fire. So the lake of fire I would call hell, which is where things or people are burnt. And I would say Hades or Sheol would be a separate thing, where the souls rest or are tormented by the knowledge that they will be going into the lake of fire at the end of the age.
I mean, that way, that could be right. But if hell is a spirit, maybe it was referring to a spirit that was thrown into there. And that would change. That would change things. But maybe what you're saying is right. But that's for the next video. I mean,
Sure.
that was just something that I think I remember or looked up or something like that in the past. Might not be right. Maybe you right.
No,
I
I
don't
think
know.
you are right. I think you're remembering something, but connecting it to something else. So I think you're right in terms of something being a spirit, and I think it's death that you're referring to because I remember reading that as well. That death itself is a spirit, and the reason why you're thinking that it's hell is because it's in the same verse because it
Okay, I
says
tell
death
you what.
and hell.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll just pick back up at Revelation 12, and then we'll go to you want to go to Enoch 21, and then we'll just go in that order and just get whatever else we can get, Tartarus and all that. Because
yeah. There's a bunch of
you
stuff I
know,
still want to go through. There's Enoch 100 verse 9, Enoch 103 verse 8. Enoch 108 verse 1 to 6, and then moving on to the Tartarus study, which I haven't completed yet, which is 2 Peter 2 verse 4. Yeah, there's a
well,
bunch of stuff.
let's try to get it all in the next one, and then if we do get it all, let's try to. Do you think we'll have, let's say, from 11 to it's 12:50? So, do you think we'll have the same amount of time the next time?
Yes, maybe
Okay.
more because today I have a hard cutoff because I'm actually moving my office, and also I've got someone that's coming to visit. So yeah, so I can't really stay too long. That's why I've got a hard cutoff today.
So
But
maybe
anyway,
like
cool.
maybe like an
Hmm?
hour and a half to 2 hours. Cause we'll
Sure.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we can do it next time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
try to
think you
make the
did the bulk.
Discord. Hmm?
I think we did the bulk of what we needed to do today. We might just do a summary just to get caught up again next time, and then move on to the next parts.
All right, cool. Well, when do you want to do it again, or do you want to schedule it now, or no?
Let's chat. How are you getting my contact details for Discord? Are we just going to email each other?
Oh, yeah, we can do that. I still haven't checked my email much, man. I think I need another email, man. I get a lot of junk in that email, and then if I don't check it right away, if I don't know your email, like it kind of be hard for me to find it, I think. So I might
Well,
have to get another email.
just search for Gordon, and then I'll pop up. I've already
Oh,
sent something.
Gordon. Thank God
Yeah.
it's something easy because people have some different emails. So
Yeah, my email is not Gordon. It's just it's been labeled as Gordon, so you'll be able to find it easy. I'm not going to obviously disclose my email on the internet. But,
you good, you good. Okay, well,
yeah,
cool.
cool.
Well, I can
Let
reach
me
out
try
to you
again.
there.
Otherwise, I'll just pop in on your live stream, and we can arrange something again if we don't have any other way of doing things.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, until next time, and until we, get this going again, man, you try to keep walking with God. I'll
Thanks,
say
man.
that.
It was great chatting to you.
Yeah, man, you too.
Cool. God bless.
Thanks for the reading and everything.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right, man. Oh, excuse me. Sleepy, man.